Possible pandemic alert, Potterblog site, July 9th, 2014. The Defense Logistics Agency, U.S. military, is in an all-out rush to get flu vaccine by August. They've put out a no-bid contract they awarded last week, notified the public about today. They cite real harm and unusual and compelling urgency. Now, a lot of information in this contract is redacted, meaning it's secret. But you have to ask, well, why are they releasing this? What all of a sudden out of season is making them want flu vaccine in a bad way? Well, there was a report in The Blaze on June 24th about a young illegal immigrant child from Central America who was diagnosed with swine flu, and they had to ship 2,000 vaccines to Lackland Air Force Base to treat people who may have been exposed. Well, based on this contract award, the secret nature, the unusual and compelling urgency, and the statement that the government faces real harm from not getting this delivery. The absence of timely delivered vaccine, the government faces real harm and expense. So it seems clear that the U.S. military sees a real threat of a severe influenza pandemic resulting from these massive border crossings and the pandemic breeding grounds surrounding detention camps on military bases. Of course, the risk is not limited to just the military. The procurement contract also states, the use of this authority is necessary because the current supplier of the subject vaccine is unable to meet all the technical requirements of the vaccine, redacted. So they're having manufacturing difficulties with this vaccine. This means that there's going to be a strong potential of a shortage coming up in flu season, which usually starts around October. And that's the other reason why the Army is wanting to get out ahead of this. Not just the Army, excuse me, the entire Defense Department. So, we expect that there will be a shortage of flu shots. And we also suspect that the available flu shots may not be up to quality standards. And a lot of people have problems taking flu shots anyways. And we believe there's more risk in the shot than potential aversion of risk of taking the shot. But if a lot of people don't get the shot, then there's a lower amount of herd immunity for the country. Now, there's another very interesting aspect about this, and it's the illegal alien aspect and the stigmatization of special populations. And this is why you need to be concerned about this, because there's a lot of political correctness going on in this that is going to basically keep the authorities from wanting to tell you what's happening until it's too late. Now, there's been a recent online pandemic influenza training module put out by the CDC. 27% of the CDC's pandemic course, and you can take this course online, and we have a link to it in our source material. 27% of the pandemic course is solely about stigmatization of, quote, special populations. Now, the CDC has two plans of attack regarding the stigmatization of special populations and spreading pandemic influenza. One, raise awareness and understanding among the dominant group about the stigmatization, or two, and this is the scary one, wait for the pandemic to become so pervasive in the dominant group that eliminates the distinctions by race, ethnicity, profession, or other identifiable characteristics. Now, this is an actual screenshot of that pandemic training, and if you read right down here, it says exactly that. Wait for the pandemic to become so pervasive in the dominant group that it eliminates the distinctions by race, ethnicity, profession, or other identifiable characteristics. So by default, it seems the initial reaction for public health authorities is to choose political correctness over human lives. Also in that regard, very recently, the U.S., Canada, and Mexico have entered into a pandemic agreement to ensure that the signatories strive to share pandemic information with each other prior to sharing it with the public. Here's a quote from that. It says, the declaration indicates that these countries intend to exchange with each other statements and plans pertaining to health emergencies before releasing them to the public. So as it stands, the Defense Department is prepping for an influenza pandemic related to all these illegal border crossings, and indications are that if such a pandemic does occur, the public will not be informed in time to take useful precautions. Now, we expect that a pandemic outbreak is most likely to start in the camps where the Department of Homeland Security is concentrating illegal aliens. It's not just that these people have H1N1 swine flu, because in a lot of these regions, especially south of the equator, it is their flu season down there, and H1N1 swine flu prefers heat, it seems. But it's that they're concentrating these people basically in illegal alien camps. So if you look at what's going on, prime among the high-risk disease locations is Los Fresnos, Texas, where the Department of Homeland Security has just sent 50,000 toothbrushes, shirts, shoes, bras, and panties. Now, we discussed that in some detail on a blog post right before the 4th of July. And we have a link to this too, and we'll give you all information. In fact, we warned you that all of this mass migration and stuff was coming back in February, based on another document that the Department of Homeland Security put out in January. But here's a Google map of the detention center in Los Fresnos, Texas. Now, the site has its own airfield for basically Con Air, if you will. And we'll zoom in on the detention camp. Now, this detention camp only holds 1,200 people. 300 in each one of these concentration cells here. But, so why are they ordering 50,000 toothbrushes? At one point, they actually even put in an order for 1 million miniature shampoo bottles, although they've backed off slightly off that. So with that type of concentration of people in that type of camp setting, it doesn't take much for swine flu to become pervasive and just blast on through that and potentially start a pandemic. So those are the real major concerns about what's going on here, and the fact that the government is not going to tell you because of the political correctness aspect. So here we list all the source information. We suggest you take this pandemic influenza training so you can see exactly what the government's saying and what their concept of operations is in regards to telling people on how to handle it. But if you're in any way concerned about a flu pandemic, this contract award has all the earmarks that they know something has gone very badly wrong.